And we find ourselves back on the mountain we ended last time. Here we are at the search for the UNKN logistics tower area? I don't know what it was called. But here we are again. So I had to do a few things. A new microphone is ordered. Because this microphone has a lot of issues with other electronics hooking up. When looking through or listening through the last video, I heard some static. My microphone sometimes has this issue that sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's very inconsistent, and it shows the age of that microphone. A cheap microphone, no brand today. Bought a long time ago. That is post. Okay, it's post. That is just at the end of its life. So I'm gonna replace that very soon and hope that the audio quality is going to improve as well. In the meantime, the plan for this episode was at least trying to get to that UNKN logistics post. That's one. And the second thing we're going to try to do is inventorize what we have to make a atmospheric vehicle. Now, if I remember correctly, we at least have 6 large atmospheric thrusters for a small grid. We have 4 small D-shaped atmospheric thrusters for small grid. And we have a few smaller atmospheric thrusters, just a standard 1x1x2 thrusters. I think we have enough to make a lifter vehicle. It will just be very hard to tilt in any direction, because if I make it, it will be as basic as possible. Now, I already made a few concessions that were probably to make the standard lifting atmospheric thruster. So the main thrust of it is going to come from atmospheric thrusting, and we're going to make the directional parts, so like moving left, right, tilting, etc, 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 to keep ourselves in the air. Fix that up with small hydrogen thrusters, and hopefully that way we'll have at least a little bit of a all-round vehicle that we can use all over this planet. This hopefully is gonna work. I know we have at least enough hydrogen thrusters, because we have found a half-broken vehicle for that. Alright. Here we are. I do hope one thing, that this logistics post doesn't have any how do I call it, those drones that attack you. Also have to be a bit careful. This area looks quite rough. So let's just try to go for this direction. Let's not go too fast. I don't want to tip over here. And looking at the angle, this we don't have a way back. Let's just put it like that. You just have to write this one out and hope that we can keep ourselves from tipping over. So far, so good. We're also in 600 meters range. No. There's a drone. If that's gonna shoot at me, I'm screwed. Alright, so far so fine. It's not shooting at me in any way. It is following me though. Don't worry about me. I didn't get a message in chat though. Don't worry about it. Alright, let's just park it here. Let's just see if I can get over there. On one tank of hydrogen. And hope the drone goes from me and not the vehicle here. If it does anything. It's just a logistics drone. So maybe it's just for transportation, no guns. Ooh. Delivery confirmed. Okay. It wanted to deliver to me? Interesting. I wonder what it's delivering. Okay. Seems to be a standard medium cargo that I can't move. Interesting. I've never had this happen to me. What about now? What? What is that? Okay.
Fuel low.
Is the drone still here?
Fuel critical.
Yeah. Oh, that's very good. Hello there. Prototech panels, origin. Okay. Lots of metal grids. I mean, that's nice. Solar cells and 160 displays. Wow. All right. That is very lovely. Half bed has some space credits, and kitchen has some cola.
Fuel critical.
Yeah, I know. Unclaimed blocks. Let's just claim the entire NPC grid. Now I just have to take it over. I wonder what I need to take over though. Yeah. Stop complaining. There's probably an AI block down here somewhere. That's a timer block. Now it's mine. Good. Oxygen tank. A small one or a big one? Looks to be a small one, right? Or does it go in the ground? Oh, it looks like it goes in the ground. So there's more under the ground that I can't reach. How nice. What else? Inset lights. Let's deal with that beacon. Both of them. This is probably the one that was used for the drone.
Inventory full.
Let's grind this stuff up. Inventory full. Inventory full.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
I know. I should get a mod for that. The inventory full. Woman can stop her yapping. A big windmill. Always nice. We can use this as like a refueling station as well. We're just getting proficient welders. That's just pure lovely. 3 of them as well. So nice. So freaking nice. Not all inventories are connected to this though. So there might be some inventories that I missed. I know we already knew that one, and this one. The bed had some credits. The toilet probably doesn't have an inventory. Can't find shit. Alright. That was quite nice. We need that other grid. I mean, that was a good jump. With 4%, I managed to fly 700 meters. That's quite nice. Alright, let's see if we can get close without anything being an issue. Then we're gonna try to pick up that sheer amount of materials. My character almost walked in the same pace as the music. Almost. Alright. Well, I've said before that the vanilla encounters, like this logistics post, are usually suppressed by a lot of the red spawns you see from the Scrapyard mod. And even then, they're not overpowered as much, because you saw from this one, the ores are pretty nice. Mostly the uranium, but it's not that overpowered. Let's see, where was that little cache? Such a small blip somewhere. Oh, there it is. Damn, that was hard to find. Oh, such a small little speck in a sea of white. From that distance, it's like 1 pixel big. Alright, let's just, oh. That's not smart to do. It's maybe better to put it on parking brake, and I'm very happy that I jumped on that, otherwise I would have had to run down there. All the way down there. I never said that I was a smart man. I'm actually a little bit of a dummy man. Alright, so this is gonna despawn eventually. Let's just... Has silver as well. Silver, uranium, cobalt. Yeah, that's quite nice. That's quite nice. Lots of cobalt, actually. Now, if I remember correctly, the materials that were in the ground next to our actual refueling base are silicon and I believe magnesium. Which means that we could use this amount of cobalt. Boop. Alright, let's hop on by the little station here. We're gonna pick up all the components that are on the inside. We're gonna put a GPS marker on it. It's probably not gonna run out of energy anytime soon with just these items hooked up to it. So let's just pick up this. Oh, that's not there, that's this one. Pick up all the components. Ow. Now, I've never really worked much with Prototech, but since I can't really build that much materials, I doubt that it's gonna do anything for us. I will save them for if we have anything we can build with it, but I doubt we'll have anything that we can actually build with it. We'll figure something out. But yeah, let's drop a GPS coordinate on here. New current position. Let's call it logistic post / recharging station. Yeah, let's just call it this. I will call it green, and I will remove it from HUD. Just in case we need to set up the recharging posts, then I will keep it online at all times. But yeah, having 3 tier 2 welders is gonna do wonders. That's one of the things I really wanted. Is that the logistics drone up there? I hope it doesn't care that I removed most of the base, or at least most of the interesting things from the base. Wonder how long it will be without powering up, that it will just be able to fly before it falls out of the sky like a piece of dead weight or brick. Yeah, that's a drone. Alright. Interesting. Question is, am I gonna drive around this, or am I gonna drive over that? We'll see what we can do when we get up there. Because if we're gonna drive around, I think we still have to go over that little nudge just left the U of unidentified there. And I have to say, this rover is quite strong. It can withstand quite a lot of damage. This is very steep though. But still, 22 meters per second. Miles per second. That would be fast. And on the other side is sunlight. Then we can finally see something again. Alright. Let's take a little bit slow. I don't know how this is gonna look down. Oh, this looks fine. A little bit rough up on top here, but maybe it will get a little bit better. Let's just not exceed 40 meters per second, because then we might get into trouble. So we have done the logistics post. I completely forgot to remove it from my GPS, but we'll get to that in a bit. That may be the beacon actually. It's fine. We'll fix that when we get down there. So an inventorization means that I also have to go back to base ship, and I have to also see what I can do to get base ship up and running again. If I can manage to do that, I can fly it over here. That would be lovely. Because base ship is a very small ship, but if I can get that one up and running, at least it's a small ship compared to the one we fixed yesterday or the day before it. But if we can get that one over here, that would solve a lot of our issues. There's also one wreck we haven't gone to, which is called Broken Tower. Now, what I think is broken tower. So let me quickly open this to see if my recording keeps going well. I mean, I think. Yeah, it seems to be doing fine. All right. Ooh, not exceed 40. We went through that tower last episode or the episode before it. We didn't discover much interesting stuff, except that we can turn it into a recharging station. So we might look into that later, but I first want to work on flying around instead of walking around. And then we just have to see if we can find another small grid medical station, like a survival kit. Right, last bit. Let's get down here. Let's dump most of materials that we have with us, and then let's go to base ship and see if we can get enough parts for a well-suited flying vehicle. There we go. We actually managed to hit 80 meters per second. Quite fast, quite fast. Okay. Let's dump what we have on the back. The game did not like that we break fast there. Broke. Let's see. Let's just get all these parts off of here. We'll make an inventorization later. Here we have some atmospheric thrusters. Whoa. We have some hydrogen thrusters. Battery. Good battery. A big battery. And that is it for now. Let's dump out the materials that we have inside the rover, and then we're gonna quickly peek by the base ship, and we're gonna make some stops along the way if we encounter some scrap that we haven't yet looted. And we're gonna pick up a vehicle that I haven't removed yet, or moved yet. There. Now the only question is the ice remaining in the... So, O2... Should be called rover. Yeah, the ice stays inside, it seems. Why is the scrap metal not being removed? Oh, the material is still being removed out. No? Hello? Ore should be moved out. Why is that not being done? This is not full. But the refinery is just trying to turn it into materials first. No, the refineries are doing nothing. Why is this not being pumped out? Like there's some materials still left in there. I don't know why this is not getting pumped out. Can it not pass through this? I mean, it should. I think ore needs to be added for that to happen. I'm not sure if the scrap metal actually falls under ore. Otherwise, we're gonna put that as a its own separate entity. Now yeah, the refinery heating is like turning on, so that should be fine. Is the scrap metal being removed out? Yes. So I guess ore also classifies scrap metal. That's fine. Okay. We have stationary 4 days of battery. So we're gonna make it to base ship, but we're also gonna look for broken flying hydro miner and broken fighter jet hydro thrust. Now I believe these two are far into that direction. Broken fighter jet hydro thrust. I believe that's the one that broke. We haven't moved it yet. Let me check a look at that, because that's still quite close. I mean, you can see the trail of destruction on the mountain over there. I believe that's the one that like half exploded. Maybe there's some extra parts, but I thought I already grabbed everything. I guess that little chunk that we see over there is what's left of it. If there's something left of it, we'll just pick it up and bring it down with us. Then we can remove this GPS coordinate as well and be done with it. All the rest of the scrap that's on here, you can even see the little white circle just looks at some scrap that is like neutral to us. That's all like scrap metal and like parts of the ship. So whatever is left, it's not much. Oh, like I have deinstalled the MES wreckage mod just to make sure that not too many wreckages spawn at the moment, so we can keep a little bit focused. That's something I usually already have issues with, as you can probably tell a little bit. Because even though there's no goal in Space Engineers, there's always something to do, and you run all over the place and you forget sometimes some important parts. Right. Let's see what this was. So yeah, it has a lot of hydrogen thrusters. Programmable blocks, has some guns, has a lot of gyroscopes and decoys. Ooh, even some small ion thrusters. Ore detector. Yeah. The thing I think with this was that I didn't know how to bring it with me. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move it down to size a little bit. And if I can't pick it up all at once, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, for example, remove this hinge and just place one part on our one side and then just bring it in pieces, because we're not gonna build this way anyway, because those hinges, the way those hydrogen thrusters are set up, yeah, no, we're just gonna do that right now. So we're just gonna chop it down to size. I will not need these stationary Gatling guns. I really don't care much about them. If I need Gatling guns later on, I will be able to find them. That's not a problem. It's getting to space is just the most important part. What we're gonna do afterwards is up to that, but for now we just need to get to space, and for that we don't need Gatling guns. We in space might encounter some ships, but yeah, we'll get there when we get there. All right, let's just move some parts around. Let's get this summabitch. We don't need to decoy either. Some steel. Let's make it a little bit lighter. We're not gonna need all these parts anyway. Can move it a little bit. I mean, I can probably just drive towards it and pick it up that way. Okay, is that enough? Very close. I'll touch. I'll touch you, bastard. No? Why not? When... There we go. Reverse the polarity. That's part 1. What's this? Air vent. We can't build them, so we might as well just save them for now. Okay. This mountain is going to be covered in parts. This gyroscope can come with me. Come with me now. Oh, I didn't turn on the auto lock system for the magnetic plates. There we go. Is it already attached? No. But now it is. Right, let's try this as well with all these other parts. Like, I like aesthetics as well for my ships, but all these extra fins and stuff, let's not do that for now. We first need to get a base ship up and running. I think I've alluded to this in a past episode as well, where I said, like, yeah, that's the thing I always say, like, first I need to get the functional parts, and then I get the functional parts, and I never build the aesthetics. I have to focus on that this time a little bit. Not too much, since, you know, we're still focused on getting into space, but still. Let me also save here, because I've had it a few times in single player games or single player worlds where I pick up something like this and the entire rover just starts freaking out and flipping all over the place. I don't want that to happen again. Alright, let's unhinge this last part. Now, I don't know how heavy it is now. We're gonna try to pick it up from with that side after removing some of these very large guns. Probably this one. Just to make it a little bit easier for ourselves. Remove as much extremities as I can look for now. Then we're gonna remove this.
Inventory full.
Alright, let's do that first. I do want all the components I can get out of this, because motors are always good. This autocannon can go. Yeah. All these small little bits of steel plates are not that important. What's this? It's just a top piston part. We don't need to... This decoy. Can I actually build decoys with this building restriction? Yeah. Then I can just remove every decoy without issue. Alright. This gyroscope, though, I cannot rebuild. So extra gyroscopes are always nice. Rather have too many gyroscopes in storage and not do anything with them than needing one and not having one. Alright, let's turn this around. Man, that snowstorm. Alright, I think that is 5. Yep. Ooh. Don't you dare. Maybe one of the gyroscopes is set on rotation. If so, then I have to watch out that it doesn't roll into my rover and explode. You know, I thought this was a lot smaller than it actually is. I'm genuinely surprised. Now, it is very broken. So this is gonna be... Oh. Alright, the sudden weather change happened. Oh, again. That was interesting. Now, we're gonna try to lift this up. If it's too heavy, we'll figure something out. But maybe now it is a bit doable. Let's lower our back crane. Try to pick it up as much in the middle as possible. Now I suspect the heaviest, or the center of mass to be around there. I think I have it. It seems fine. It's very wobbly, and I have to drive down this entire mountain. Now, I don't want to exceed the 10 meters per second until we get to the ice. The reason why is... so you have to realize that that entire ship now at the back of our rover is the hinge part, or at least the magnetic part that is currently holding up the entirety of that ship, is attached to a single 1x1 light armor block. Now, I have had it break before, and I don't know if that's because the large ship was like aimed in such a weird way that it somehow hit that block, but it made it that it broke off the entire magnetic part. It hit the back of my rover, exploded. The entire ship that I was transporting exploded, and nothing of it, got saved in the end. And I think it was like a small atmospheric plane, which made it even sadder because I was doing basically what I'm doing now, trying to salvage as much parts that I can to make a flying vehicle. And yeah, then you even have to repair your rover, which is not something you were planning on doing. Now, the same as last time, I have to turn in like large sweeps to make sure it doesn't sway too hard. If you rhythmically press left and right to make like small adjustments, sometimes what can happen is that you it starts swaying, but every time when you hit the button again, it sways a little bit more, and you build into the frequency of it flying, and the amplitude of it swaying starts to become bigger and bigger. And at some point it will just break off. Now, I know these pistons have quite a bit of rotation protection. Ooh, that ship is so heavy that when I turned, I pressed very softly, and I still turned quite a bit longer. Alright. Yeah, look, it's dragging me to the right or the left if I turn. Alright. We actually managed to get it back home. Good. part 1. That's grabber can come back up. Part 5. That one can come back up. Three and 4. Who? And that is it. Now we didn't grab that many components yet. Let's just remove the broken fighter jet GPS coordinates. And let's go for broken flying hydro miner and base. And any scrap that we spawned while driving around. Oh, I like that this vehicle looks so thin from the side. Then you look from the top and it's just like a green sheet of paper with wheels that is driving around this snowy desert. It is the epitome of a very useful but not aesthetically pleasing vehicle. I mean, I sort of find aesthetically pleasing, mostly due to it being so pragmatic. 6 wheels, because 4 wheels are a lot worse in these situations, especially when lifting stuff. You can make the front heavier or the back heavier this way, easier. You have 5 attachment points for large objects to carry. There's a lot more room to build out, especially when you're like transporting solar panels. It's good to have a big vehicle. Let's quickly drive past one of the ships we've discovered in one of the previous episodes to just appreciate the good find of this one. I know that it's like completely on fire, but that's fine. that's just fine. If we find one large ion thruster of like a broken ship that we can't recover in any way, or we just want to sacrifice, we can destroy that one large ion thruster and repair probably all the ion thrusters that are on this ship. Look at the sheer fire on that thing. Well, I remember approaching this one, having to dodge the Gatling gun with the antenna, literally walking a tightrope. Let's take a short look at this one. It's so on fire. I love that it can just burn forever without issue. Oh yeah, it was this one with the cryos. Yeah. Interesting. Now, one thing I am going to do is, when I build the new ship, I am going to build it with a lot of lights. As a viewer pointed out, oh, why am I'm not able to open? Oh yeah, the power is out, that's why. So, it is a very dark game, yes. And it doesn't help that when I die, I sometimes don't turn my light back on. And I know, it's just that sometimes you forget it because, you know, it's like muscle memory. You just want to get back into the next try. And then when it does succeed, you just completely forget about it. I will try to think about that a little bit more. I do like the darkness though in this game when you have enough light to counteract it, because certain, like for instance these burning large chunks of spaceships, they do look very aesthetically pleasing in the darkness. But that's just me. Um, looks to be like a transport vehicle. These sometimes have atmospheric thrusters on them, or is like the train part. Oh, it's the bar. Yeah. This is a good find. Looks like the outhouse is like half clipped into it though. These bars are pretty interesting because they can have a lot of things, but there's also two major parts about this that make it very interesting to me specifically. Because when you get behind here, you're like, oh yeah, that's just like a kitchen area. But then you look up. This is an air vent full, and this is an air vent full. I cannot build these. Here, the only thing I can do is a heat vent. I cannot build air vents. And then you look to the left. And what's behind this inset light? Oh, yeah, what's behind this inset light? It's a big battery. So this bar, outside of any items you find or the components, it's just a very good find for specifically this scavenge run. So we're gonna bring this with us. But first, before we do that, there's some extra things that I need to do. One of which is go in here. And we are going to move one of these in here. And we're going to move two of these in here. And we're going to equip this better welder to our hotbar. Now, I didn't bring any of the proficient grinders, but we'll get to that. Anything good? Well, sure. Any canned cola? I guess not. There's a toilet. Now I have discovered a method of getting these out of here without too much hassle. We just need to destroy these back plates and the kitchen. Let's just dump some of the components. Haha, drive-by dumping. Remove the kitchens. What we do now is we place a triangle here, here, and here. And then we just grind these free. And once we have these free, they will fall out of this area onto either here where I can pick them up easy, or they fall on the ground where I can pick them up as well. So it's fine. Either way, how they fall out. Okay. Yeah, it's just a light armor block. We don't care too much about that. Look at that. Just some components. Give me that toilet. Bulletproof glass is always nice to have as well. Although we have silicon at home, we can make it when we want to at our leisure. Alright. Let's go to the roof and disconnect these blocks. No, can I make it from here? No, probably not. Let's just do it the easy route. Well, that's so much for the easy route. There we go. I never knew that there were air vents on the top as well. Last time I didn't even check that. Interesting. I wonder if I can pick that up with the backside in one go. I kind of don't want to, because I need that space for the vehicle that I was going to pick up. Perfect. I'll see if I can maybe repair them and split them up so I can put some of them on top of here. I think there's a snowstorm incoming. If I can pick it up with the side, that's fine as well. Will be quite big, but let's see, that would be this one. Let's see if I can pick it up with this without it also interfering with my wheels. Can I pick this up without issue? It's a bit wobbly, but doable for now. If anything changes or they blow up, it's not the worst. Usually air vents are not the biggest issue when it comes to building other ships. So these are just for just in case we have spare parts. Okay. Now this would be number 5. I think this would be enough. We'll see if we can line it up. I don't know what my wheels are doing. Oh, maybe they're not connected to the ground. Yeah, they were not connected to the ground. Interesting. Alright. Let's just check real quick what's in the shed. Don't need buttons, don't need buttons. I can build buttons without issue. Let's remove this warhead.
Detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Don't need that. Sure. Extra components are always nice. I don't need the sound block. I can build those. Don't need the small battery. We have so many small batteries now. Automation programmable block. We do need though. Yeah, we don't need the inset light. We can build those as well. What's this? Beacon. And an air vent. I mean, I could use this one though. Oh, okay. I don't know why that's still attached, but oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I do know why that's still attached. I thought it would not be connected anymore, but I thought wrong. Alright, that's connected. And and let's bring this sucker with me. I don't think I need the beacon. That didn't sound like it was attached yet. There we go. Yeah, alright. Next up, I think I saw a... I think I've already been there. Then we're gonna drive past one of our other big vehicle parts, big ship parts. We're gonna look what perhaps that could be for the big picture total. This is a windmill. I haven't been in here before. I don't know if I've been in here before. Usually when they have a windmill, I steal the windmill. Alright, let's quickly check then, I guess. Maybe it has some good components. Let's drop off what we have. Let's fly up there. Okay. Well. Anything good in here? A teddy bear. Sure. Anything in here? A pistol. A single pistol. So the only good thing on this is really the windmill. Okay. I kind of want to grind it up for components. Don't land on my... Don't land on my... You bastard. Let's grind it up. Just so we got this out of here. Let's deposit. Having more steel plates. Construction comps. Small steel. We're gonna need all these components very quickly. A lot of them. Especially when we're gonna repair those big ship parts. That's gonna take forever. We're gonna set up miner settings. Like we're gonna mine all that iron and turn that into components automatically. Lots of steel plates. Lots and lots of steel plates. When we get the flying vehicle, what we can do as well is we can travel around, find materials, make a grinder setup, and just grind them. And with that I mean just make like a scrapyard grinder where you can just toss vehicles in and they will be grinded up into components. I've done this before. The fun part about it is though that the hardest part about it is not that that it's hard to get the vehicles to be grounded up. The hardest part is to contain the small blocks that would otherwise get fired out of it. I've had it quite a few times where small blocks just get yeeted all over the place while you're grinding up a larger vehicle. Ooh. Lots of interior plates, lots of construction comps. Might as well remove these buildings as I go along. The problem otherwise would be that they would constantly not annoy me, but entice me to explore why I haven't been in there or why it's still there. Let's leave the longest for last.
Inventory.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a pistol. Don't care about it. Oh, we're leaving that last. Almost there.
Inventory full.
Again? That's pretty fast. Maybe it will be a shocker, and when I get back to base ship, I will actually still have like a lot of hydrogen, or like a lot of atmospheric thrusters that I completely forgot about. That's why we need to set up everything in one position. It will make it a little bit easier to keep track of what we have and what we don't have. Don't know why I got bitch slapped by a metal plate there, but alright. Alright, let's destroy the door last. Oh, come on. Let me up there. Oh, here we go. Over there is just a toilet, so we're not gonna really pay attention to that. We're gonna pick up the windmill and we're gonna make it over to base ship. And we're gonna look at that broken flying hydro miner to see what was it about again.
Energy critical.
Yeah. Can I grind this before my energy runs out? Probably not. Let's not tempt fate. This should be enough. Then we're gonna sit in our vehicle anyway.
Energy low.
I know. Good components. Okay. Let's grab it with 6, which is front right. No, actually I'm gonna pick it up with the other one because then I can pick it up at the base plate and that would be better. It's just gonna be hard to maneuver with those air vents up to the left. No, this one. I have to also make sure that it's not in the direction of my wheels to make sure that my wheels are unobstructed. Otherwise we're gonna have the same thing as my neighbor today, where they accidentally drove into some other neighbor's vehicle. Let's not do that ourselves. She's an older lady and she's not that good at driving, so she parked her vehicle straight up, hitting another vehicle. It's a bit sadness, but not much I can do about it. Can't really park her car for her or something like that. Alright, we're almost at the OG part of where we started. Oh. There's also a vehicle there, if I remember. So, I think it's this one, Rocket Rover Drivable. That's over there where you see the lights in the top of the screen on the mountain. This is also an area I've been before. Yeah, I've scrapped this before. Took some steel, it seems. Half scrapped a vehicle. We're gonna go for that later. This is the broken flying hydro miner. Let's take a look at it without the rover. Let's just fly over to it. Just so we don't have to go up the mountain with all these components. Make sure we're full on. I was full health. Sup, you sucker. It's me. The better version of you. I don't die to collisions that quickly, you moron. That was so stupid. actually speechless for a second there. All right. Oh boy. That's... I forgot how big this one was with the sheer abundance of materials. Didn't manage to take over this vehicle though, for some reason. I don't remember why. So let's look through it. Maybe there was a remote control? Gyroscopes. Any blocks that I'm missing? Large cargo, medium cargo, ore detector, sensor, sorter. Not really. I don't know. We'll figure something out later. But yeah, I can bring that back with me, no problem. No, it's also not that. Also not enough components to fix that. It's probably also not the O2H2 generator. Nah, I don't know what it could be that's keeping this from being taken over. Well, it doesn't really have a cockpit, so that doesn't help either. I'm unsure if I should bring this with me. It's also half in the snow, so I can't really bring it with me. One thing I can do with this is take over a drill and then build a cockpit on it and use right click on drills. That leaves a larger hole, and drills will not destroy their own grid they're attached to. Like if I activated this with right click against another grid, it would destroy it, but this would just make like a circle around the head that it will be freeing up the space around it. I've done this a few times with larger ships. We'll probably have to do that for certain ships that we have uncovered as well. I will show that later on. Ooh. Can we... Low. I know. It's been a while since I actually flew with jetpack for long distances, so I'm a bit bad at it. I promise I will practice a little bit with it later. Alright. Let's go with a large turn. We'll get that one later on, when we delivered most of the stuff and we've checked if there was actually anything interesting at base ship to bring back. I do believe that I have like some big batteries over there and some solar panels. Solar panels that we could just hook up to any of the bases just to make sure that they have some slow energy production. Then we have the big base chunk over there that we can see. I do believe I've taken that one over. I think I dug a tunnel over there to that one. I don't know. Yeah, it's green. Alright, that's good. Let's take a quick peek at that one, because this is the first or the second large ship that I've taken over, and it's also the one that's just so long ago now that I kind of don't remember how it looked like. So we're gonna take a quick peek at this one, and then we're almost at the base ship. It's not the biggest. You can still see the bullet holes in the ground where it tunneled. Okay, some stuff turned on. Don't hope that that's reactors that are turning on. These are still quite broken. There was some cargo on this one. Some cargo containers. There's 2 large thrusters. Oh, I was wondering why I wasn't staying in the air. My dampeners were turned off. I guess I fat fingered the Z key. This industrial large cargo container, this hydrogen tank, and the 2 hydrogen thrusters at the end are already worth it. Then we have a jump drive that has no superconductors. The gravity comps are pretty good. And I think there's a jump drive intact on one of the other ones. Let's look through what we have here. What did this one have? Some gyroscopes, incomplete, doesn't matter, we have one with large. Lots of industrial hydrogen thrusters, 2 large industrial large hydrogen thrusters. Okay. Thought they were left on, but I guess they're off. An oxygen tank is always good. A few small cargo containers, small hydrogen tanks. 2 small reactors, but both are broken. 10 and like a few stores. Survival kit is always nice. Yeah, this is just spare parts. I don't know what I called this one, but this part is definitely like most of the steel that you see on this we're gonna just remove later on, which is good because there's a lot of steel on it. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take out what we do want. Probably these stores. I don't even know what you use these stores blocks that enable automatic trading. We might just keep them for keeping sake, just to have like some interesting blocks. But most important parts are the large hydrogen thrusters that we have at the back, quote unquote. Alright. That's at least revisiting older parts that we've been to. Over there is a bridge part that I've already been to. So let's just get back to base ship. Might also be interesting to like put some lights on the ship itself, just so I can have some lights to work with. And maybe put like a long range searchlight on the rover, just so I can look around a little bit, or it will identify stuff when I'm driving around. Well, this is where this playthrough all started. I think I spawned in on like that hill up there. Not the brown hill up there, but the tall one next to it. That drive down that mountain was scary, to say the least. Driving down with 15 meters per second in a rinky-dink rover that you just have to sneeze at and it will collapse. It's a bit of a difference with the size of the I really wanted to call it a ship again. Alright, there's some red parts. I guess I transported some stuff without taking it over. Okay. It's been a while since I've seen this one. Now the problem with this ship, though, is that it's really built for space and not atmosphere. It does have a whole lot of hydrogen thrusters, but I don't think it will be very useful to get off the ground. The thing is, though, that it has a lot of speed modules, which are very good for having like rows of assemblers, and we've found a lot of different assemblers already. So we are going to need it later on. But we'll get there when we get there. It's tough to really think about it for now. But it's fine. Alright, let's look at the sheer number of materials that we found. So we have already one sci-fi large atmospheric thruster here. Gyroscope, we're gonna move over mostly the stuff to build the ship. The most important parts. These are all medium cargo containers. Large battery. Another windmill. Okay. So that was the only large hydrogen thruster. Oh, here's the 4 flat atmospheric thrusters D-shape that I was talking about before. And then we have this, which also has some hydrogen thrusters, lots of gyros. Has a battery that has 5 power cells, medium cargo container. But judging by the hydrogen thrusters, this is also so much built for space, not in atmosphere. So what we can do is move that in its entirety over as well. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick up lag. We're gonna pick up this sci-fi large atmospheric thruster. And then we're gonna pick up the ship and move that all back over to the base. Strong. Hunk of junk. I'm gonna turn you into something good. There we go. Reverse it. Pick it up. Then, yeah, we're just gonna pick up that smaller thing. It's the only thing we really need from here for now. There's really no thrusters. There's like some gyro parts. There's some programmable blocks, and here's another programmable block. And I mean, they're all useful, but we have most of these components back at base, and we don't need many more. Because the ship we already brought back, the fighter that we found on top of the mountain, had a whole lot of gyros and materials as is, hydrogen thrusters, etc. And we don't need that many for this one vehicle. This one vehicle is meant to move materials around, and I think we'll have more than enough for that. I don't know if I can turn this ship around a little bit. I think it's too heavy for that. Yeah, it's too heavy. I kind of want to grab it like right here. It's probably too heavy as well. Well, it's fine. Let's see if I can move this out of the way a little bit. Come on. Come on, you had some movement into it. There you go. Can you just move it out of the way? You just moved it. Can you just move it with something else? That sometimes happens as well. Some movement. This is just enough to get it to move again. Alright, let's see if I can get a little bit closer with this now. So, Let's let's pick it up and move it a little bit forward. Maybe that's possible. Okay. Just put it down again. Now let's pick it up from the side. That should be it. Did I grab it? Alright. So, with this though, we have reached almost the hour-and-a-half mark again for this video. So, for this, what I'll do is, I also changed how my character looks like. I took the scavenger outfit now. I do think it fits the theme of the run quite a bit. So, with this, we're gonna bring all this back. Next episode, what I'm gonna work on is a vehicle to build the flying vehicle. So it will be like a forklift truck. It will be based on a design I think I have looked off from Splitsy, but it might also just be a tutorial for a small vehicle that can just pick up stuff. It is a small, versatile vehicle that can just pick up an item and turn it around in a lot of different ways when you pick it up. How this will look like, I will show next time. Next time I'll bring all this stuff back. It might also start next episode already driven back all the way, just so that is not a part of the video, so we can just start with the interesting bits. And maybe for next episode my microphone will already be in. We'll see. But until then, if you've watched all the way up to this point, then I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of Frozen Scrapyard. And have a wonderful day. Goodbye.